Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Hiking Journal, my solo hike in the El Capitan County Preserve. In this episode, I head out near the town of Lakeside, California, and attempt to complete one of the most difficult hikes in all of San Diego County, El Cajon Mountain, at an elevation of only 3,675 feet or around that, and I'll get to that here in a minute. Doesn't really sound that hard, right? Well, what's that old saying, proof's in the pudding? Well, in this case, the saying rings true. Let's just start with the altitude of El Cajon. On the All Trails map, it clearly states it's 3,648 feet. On my Garmin Explore map, it's 3,677 feet. Okay, that's pretty close. And on my USGS topographic map, it's back down to 3,675. And from what I gather, there's a sign on the summit that says it's 3,675. So, okay, you get the picture. It's kind of around 3,650 to 3,675. And close enough for government work, I guess. El Cajon Mountain Trail is 11 miles according to All Trails and some of the other sources I looked at, but what they didn't tell you is the official trailhead is a half mile up a super steep paved and dirt road from the parking area, with over 268 feet of elevation gained in that first half mile. And get this, that doesn't even count in the totals. Oh, and at the end of the trail, it kind of peters out about a half mile from the top, at the convergence of a use trails at the top of the summit and a marked trail to nearby El Capitan, another peak. From here, you scramble up a narrow single track that's more like the Stairmaster workout you used at the gym, through narrow gaps in the rocks, a couple hundred feet. And of course, that doesn't count either. And most folks wrote that it's more like 12 to 14 miles round trip and not 11. And one guy said he's climbed it several times and tracked it with his Garmin, and he's never totaled it less than 14 miles. Ugh. Okay, so here's the next oddity. The elevation gain is 3,579 feet. What? Say that again? 3,579? So you're telling me I'm starting at sea level and I'm climbing all the way up the top. Is that right? That's what you just said, right? Well, that's a doozy. But sadly, you're not starting at sea level. The trailhead's at 1,543 feet, or so they say. So let's do some math here real quick. 3,675 at the summit, minus 1,543 at the starting point at the trailhead. That equals, according to my math, 2,132 feet. So how the hell did they come up with 3,579 feet of elevation gain, you might ask? Well, this fine trail doesn't just start at the bottom and work its way up. And I forgot to mention there's a lot of ups and there's a lot of downs. But it's quite the roller coaster rides of up and downs, followed by more ups and downs, and about 3 or 4 more ups and downs. And they're not little whoop-de-doos either. It's a seriously steep-looking hard-packed scramble of pea gravel on hardpan, slip-sliding, knee-jarring, ankle-twisting, leg-cramping, guaranteed to fall on your butt kind of trail. And to top it off, it's got some of the best trail reviews I've ever seen, especially this one from Tara Brown from just a few weeks ago. She writes, "This shit was hard, really rugged terrain." Now, I laughed out loud when I read it, and then I started to cry. Never mind, I'm not going to go. I'd rather just go to SeaWorld, sit in the bleachers and watch the dolphins and maybe eat some fish sticks. Oh, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right, does it? El Cajon Mountain is visible from just about every freeway in San Diego County and from every other tall peak around here. I've seen it at least 100 times, and it's about time I hauled my ass up there for a first-hand look to see what everybody's crying about. According to Google Maps, it's about an hour or 57 miles from my house here in Temecula to the trailhead, or about 26.5 miles northeast of downtown San Diego. Since this was the week in between Christmas and New Year's, I crossed my fingers that work traffic would be a little lighter heading south towards San Diego. So once the sun came up, I hit the road. Luckily, traffic was light and I arrived just before 8 a.m. and parked on the shoulder of Wildcat Canyon Road, adjacent to the El Capitan County Preserve parking lot. Well, good morning and welcome back to another edition of the Journal. This morning I'm at, they got the gate locked. I'll be damned. I'm going to be going to El Cajon Mountain, and I've never been here before, and it looks like I can't even park in the parking lot because the parking lot's closed. So make sure I give myself plenty of room so I can get out for later, but I'm going to be making a trip today up to the top of El Cajon Mountain. Ought to be a really tough hike today. It's going to be about 11.5 to 13 miles almost 4,000 feet of gain, so it's going to be tough. And it's really steep up and it's really steep down. And, well, we'll see how I do. I assembled my trail vest, checked my hammer gel supply, grabbed my chilled water bottles filled with heat, my electrolyte replacement, and I started up the steep paved lower section of the road, a half-mile to the trailhead. Well, good morning and welcome back to another edition of the Journal. Today, I'm near Lakeside, California. I'm going to be attempting to do El Cajon Mountain, and if I'm lucky enough and if I have the energy enough, I might hit El Capitan on the way back. It's going to be a really hard hike today. It's going to be about 11 and a half to 13, 14 miles, depending on who you believe. And elevation gain is damn near 4,000 feet, so it's going to be a tough one. There's not a lot of switchbacks either, so it's straight up and straight down. So anyway, there should be quite a few people on the trail today. There was about a dozen at the trailhead, and I see a couple of girls coming down right now with their dogs. So we'll see if I get all the way up there. Daytime high is supposed to be about 63, and I'm already sweating. I had to climb almost 270 feet just to get from where I parked to the start of the trailhead in a half mile. So it's going to get worse from here on in. So no sense delaying the inevitable. If I'm going to go up to the top of El Cajon, I got to go up. Anyway, wish me luck. There's the official trailhead down there in that clearing. There's the access road, and there's the road that goes to Poway. It's one of the reservoirs over there. And then off to the right, you can see Woodson and Iron Mountain and some others. Pretty good view. And it looks like down that direction off in the distance in the haze is downtown San Diego. Not bad for the initial half mile. Well, if I'm not mistaken, that's what we're looking at today. The far one is El Cajon. Silver Dome is to the left, and we have to go up and over the first one, and then down into that valley, and over the second one, and then down in the valley, then over the third one, then down the valley, and then that final push. That's where we're headed. I'm not really looking forward to this. And over there, that's the Barona Indian Casino down that direction as we're looking north. Out of breath already. And there's a better shot of the Barona Indian Casino as we're looking north from the trail. And I'll spin around here to the right. Pretty sure that's where we're headed today. The far one is El Cajon Mountain. That's where we're headed. But we got to go up and over the first one, up and over the second one, up and over the third one, and then into the fourth one. And we got to do that all in reverse. It's going to be one hell of a day. All right, so this is what I got. I've been on the trail about a mile and a half. I got some stickers in my butt already. I have to work my way somehow around or up and over this first one. I go to the second one, the third one, and then the fourth one. So to prepare today, I'm not only bringing hammer gel, which is my fuel of choice for electrolyte supplements because I'm going to need it. I've got Heed, which is the hammer gel variation, their brand, which I've got it over here in this one. And then I've also got another Heed in this one, along with a 1.5 liter hydration bag hooked up to this vest. But what I'm going to rely on today a lot is this. This is Perpetuum. This is a calorie replacement and electrolyte supplement, I believe. Long-lasting endurance kind of a gel. So it mixes and it dilutes in water. It's a powder, but it works really well. And it's got a little thicker consistency than your typical stuff. You can feel the thickness in it. But since I didn't really have a good breakfast, I'm going to be relying on this today to get me up and over all those damn peaks. Anyway, wish me luck. Well, I'm about a mile and a half maybe into the trail, and got to take advantage of this sort of flat spot here. It's actually a little downhill here, so
this is where I can make up some time that I know I'm going to lose when I start scrambling up those steep slopes. So for it being a daytime high of only 63, it feels like 75 already. And I've got running tights on and a long sleeve shirt, which helps with the wind, but not so much with the heat. The only good thing is this top is really thin and it's a microfiber, so it's breathable. And it should evaporate the moisture pretty quick. Other than those two gals with dogs, I haven't seen anybody else. I'm sure I'll run into more because there was at least a dozen cars at the trailhead. They were just smart to get an early start. Well, here's another really well-marked sign for the El Capitan County Preserve. And it's about my 5th reminder that the trail closes at 4:30 here in the winter, and the gate's locked at 4:30. I'm lucky that I'm not inside the parking lot. I'm on the street, so I'm good. They also noted that it gets so hot here, they close during the month of August. You know, I can see what they mean now about it being harder on the way back, because this is really steep going down, and I gotta do this on the way back after I've already climbed over 3,000 feet. My quads are tired. Well, here we go. This is a 2-mile marker. It's not too bad. If you can see that dirt path in front of me, that thing that goes about 60% grade, I don't know what it is, but it sure looks like it. I think that's where we're going. Well, you can't get the real appreciation for how steep this grade is. It's got to be over 45% easy. And it continues straight up for another couple hundred yards, it looks like. And not only is it going to be hard going up, it's going to be just as hard or harder going down. All right, well, this is a trail split. Either I can go straight up to the washout, or I can go left. You can see my trail down there. That's where I was. One goes to the left of the peak, one goes to the right of the peak. The track I'm on goes straight, so that's where I'm going to go. You cannot believe the steepness of this trail. I think I'm going to go up there in a gap, I'm hoping, between the right mound and the left mound. Then I drop down into a valley over there and head up to the next one. All right, well, it says congratulations, you made it halfway. Wow. Seemed like we were a lot farther than that. Well, behind me here is the drop off back down. This is the steepest part, supposedly. And when I get to the top of this, which I can see blue sky up here, so I'm almost there, it'll drop down the other side down to the gully, and then that's, I think, where the Jeep is. Maybe I'm open, and then I'll actually start the climb proper. But first, I got to hike another 1.5 miles to get to that point, so we're getting there. I'm just hot. All right, well, I've conquered the first peak, which is the smaller of all the peaks, believe it or not. And go over here and show you what I got. I got to go down to the bottom of this valley. It looks like I worked my way down that way over there. And you see there's a trail right there. It goes all the way up to the top and over that. That's my next one. All right, well, if you wanted an idea how steep this is, it's just straight up. It looks like it goes to the left. But what you don't see is what I just did. Look at that shit. That's straight down. And I think that's where I'm going. Over there eventually. I gotta admit though, I do have pretty good views from here. Downtown San Diego is way off in the distance in the haze. Interstate 8 is way down there as well. Not in the valley right here in front of you, but on the other side as it heads toward Arizona. Well, it looks like I've reached some kind of an overlook here. It's got a pretty tremendous view across all of San Diego County as you head toward the beach. And it's got a nice little bench to sit and admire the view. I can see, I believe that is El Cajon Mountain. And it's taken a toll on me. I got, obviously a lot more to go, but I'm about maybe 3 1/4 or so. Probably halfway, I'm thinking maybe. Lakes are feeling pretty good. The only thing I'm concerned about a little bit is water management. I've pretty much almost blown through all my perpetuum. Took a swig out of my heat. I have another heat and I have another 1.5 liters in the back, but gotta really watch that. It seems to be a lot hotter today than I thought it was gonna be. And the sun, it's partially blocked by clouds, but not enough. We have a 99% chance of rain tonight. So I'm hoping as it gets later in the morning and early in the afternoon, we'll get a little more cloud cover because I'm going to need it. But this is quite the sufferfest here. Most people don't do this hike. It's a really difficult. It's listed as one of the most toughest, most difficult hikes in all of San Diego. And there's some sick bastard that did it as a repeat. He went up and back and up and back 22 miles or 23 miles. And believe it or not, I saw a YouTube video of a guy that did a 24-hour loop and did it 11 times. I can't even fathom that. I can't even fathom doing it once. So I'm gonna take a break here for a minute. I've already had 1 hamburger gel. I've got like 4 of them. So I'm not gonna take another one now. I'm gonna wait till I get to the top of the next peak before I drop down to the valley, and then I'll have 1 more before I head up. So I'm gonna need probably another one coming back. Anyway, at least right here there's a little bit of a breeze and take advantage of it. Let my heart rate settle down. I don't even know what it is now. It's probably 145 or something. So, and I did pass a guy. He was going down and it looked like he was having a walk in the park. He only had 1 little water bottle. And he said, "Oh, it's slippery." Yeah, no shit, it's slippery. All right, well, here's another good viewpoint. Now we're a little higher up. You can see big rigs going eastbound on Interstate 8. And see the valley down there. And my trail where I've come from is up and over those peaks and down to the other side. You could barely make out the ocean in the haze. Downtown San Diego is kind of right to the left of those little ridge line right there in the back. That's downtown San Diego. I did hear some voices a minute ago. Somebody coming up the trail. But I got a long way to go still. I got to get up and over this before I hit the big drop. I'm getting there. All right, well, I crossed over the top of that other peak. And now I'm pretty sure, I'm working my way down to that final descent where the Jeep is before I start my off-road climb through the single track. But I gotta tell you, this is some seriously steep stuff here. I mean, it's even treacherous going down. Rocks are sliding out from under me and my toes are jamming into the end of my shoes. I tell you what, once I get to the top and I start coming down, I'm gonna have to reconfigure my lacing system here because right now my toes are totally jamming in. Believe it or not, I don't feel that bad. I think the perpetuum is helping. And once I get down to the bottom, before I start that climb, I'm gonna do another hammer gel, take another big swig of my heat. This is so steep, I'm even afraid to go down it. These big rocks. It's like BBs on a tile floor right here. Jesus. I did pass a young girl. She She looked like she's more than about 17. She was pretty much drenched in sweat doing a solo hike. I jokingly asked her if it got any easier. She goes, no, but the views get better. So, all right, here's another marker up here. Let's see what that is. This could very well be a 4-mile marker, maybe. I passed a 3.5-mile marker. I also have a view finally. I'll show you behind me here. This is off the other side. This is to the north. So we've got some bee action here. Yep, 4 miles. There's a 4-mile sign right there. Well, this is a pretty good view. This is looking toward the Verona Casino. And this is looking north and west to the left and north and east to the right. So I'm working my way down. There's some people coming up on me. I'm going to let them go by. Enjoy this view and this nice cool breeze. I'm slowly getting there. Those 2 guys that were behind me passed me finally. And of course, they're younger and more fit than me. And they got dual trekking poles. Something that I surely miss today. I'm getting there. Still haven't reached the Jeep yet. Thought I would have been there by now. And there's definitely some rocky sections up here. I'd rather have this though than that loose pea gravel. Well, I have been climbing and climbing, and I can feel it. I'm about 3/4 the way spent here. But I gotta tell you, this was kind of a welcome sight. I finally came across the Jeep here. I've been looking for this damn thing for the last hour. I thought it was a lot closer. The good thing is, that means I'm not that far from the split that goes to Capitan on the right and El Cajon on the left. I think that's El Cajon right there. And El Capitan is to the right. And I'm going to stop here for a minute, take a break, and get a hamburger jelly because I'm going to need it if I want to keep going. Pretty tired right now. Well, I'm getting there. Looks like this could be a trail split here. This is technically the end of the trail, where it looks like 5 miles right here. That tells you where we are. There's the El Cajon Mountain Summit sign to the left. El Cap is to the right somewhere. We'll see if I have the energy to do that or the time. It says Golden Eagle Country. Wouldn't that be something special, huh? All right, well, I got to keep going. All right, well, now we're on the El Cajon Mountain Trail, the unmaintained trail. We got to go up there somewhere. There's our view off toward Interstate 8 to the south and east. And this is our view. It's like we got a fire or something. Looking north and east. That's what I got left. It's really steep, narrow. Boy, when they said there wasn't a county maintained trail, they meant it. Getting there into the sun. I like that sign. Parking lot. They act like it's right there. See that trail way the hell down there? And over that mountain? That's where the damn car is. We're not anywhere close to the parking lot. You can see the ocean now. You can see San Diego Bay. You see a little bit of downtown. All right, well, right now I'm about 1/4 to 1/3 the way up El Cajon Mountain. And you can see what a view I've got behind me. And that's my view to the north right there. And there's a big fire going out there somewhere. I can't imagine a fire in these conditions. I got the hiccups now. Must be from that last hammer gel. Boy, this is steep right here. Take my time, I'm getting there. Now they have these paddle markers everywhere. I kind of don't know why they spent so much time doing that, because the trail kind of blazes its way through the manzanita and brush. There's really no other where to go, but we're not that far from the top. Hopefully 15 minutes or less. I'm spent. All right, well, I just passed a couple of guys. He said I was 3 minutes from the top. And a second ago, I could see a sign. So it looks like this is it. Hey, I made it, huh?
Hell yeah.
Oh, now it's time for a break.
It's worth it up there. You're about 50 feet from it.
Well, what have you? I'm glad it's cooler up here.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it'll be a little chilly up there.
Yeah, it feels good though. I'll take it. I'll take it for sure. All right. I see some more paddle markers over here. Hopefully there's a decent spot for me to sit, take a break and get a view. So I'm clawing my way through the brush here. Looks like I gotta do a little bit more climbing here. All right, I gotta figure out how to get through this little patch. Oh, now I'm stuck. My foot's stuck in the spot here. Whew, that was tight. But I can not only got to see the benchmark right here. I can get over there. I can see the sign. There you go. El Cajon Mountain, elevation 3,675 feet from right here. And off in the distance, you can see the trail that I was on, or I went up and over and down. There's the Barona Casino again. Wow. All from the top of El Cajon Mountain. All right, I gotta find a spot, take a break for a minute. Well, I made it up the top of El Cajon Mountain, and now I got to work my way down. And I ran into a guy. He came up shortly after I got up there, and he was telling me it takes just about as long to get down than it does to get up. So we'll see. Well, I made it down from the top, 20 minutes, all the way back down to the Jeep. That's pretty good. Inside of my right quad is kind of cramping a little bit. I just drank some more Heed. I still got all my tough uphills to go. Slamming down another hammer gel. This one's a espresso with caffeine. Might need it. Well, I worked my way down past the Jeep. So I worked my way below top of El Cajon, and this is where I'm starting to pay the piper here coming back. This section was the big section here. This one was steep and rocky and tough. Take my time. Legs kind of cramping a little bit, but if I go slow, I should be okay. All right, well, there's El Cajon Mountain. That's where I was, to the left of that over there. And this is what I got. I just passed the little Overlook, with the bench and the sign. And now I got to negotiate this. Can't believe I came up this. This is some seriously steep stuff here. And all it takes is one good slip here, man, and be twisting an ankle, or you could pull hammy, mess up your meniscus like I have in the past. So I gotta definitely watch my foot placement here, at least up here at this section. And you can see where I'm going to go. There's a trail way over there. That's where I got to go. Now see, this is the stuff that scares me here, because this stuff is slippery. And once you get going, you get your momentum going, and it's kind of hard to stop, especially when you've been climbing uphill for 3,000-4,000 feet, and your quads don't have the strength. If you slip here, you could easily go down. And of course, your toes are jamming in to the end of your shoes, which are not good. And for a guy that's had a knee surgery, this is to me, this is more worrisome than the steep uphills. I just take my time and be careful. And of course, just when you think you're almost done with the trail, they throw this one at you. We're at the 1 mile mark right here. 1 mile to go to get back to the car. And it's half mile, roughly, from the trailhead. So I don't know if that includes that or not. So it might be 1.5 miles to the car, who knows. First I gotta get up this. Well, looks like I survived my trip to Cajon Mountain. I got the restroom is right below me here. Right down there, that's a half mile on a paved road, pretty much, back to the Jeep, where I have a ice cold beer in my little cooler. And I tell you what, man, that's well deserved. I've also got a Powerade in there, 32-ounce Powerade, and I wouldn't doubt if I drink that whole thing, like right now. I powered through my 4 or 5 hammer gels. I used a 16-ounce bottle of Perpetuum, the meal replacement, and 2 16-ounce bottles of electrolyte replacement Heed. And I'm on probably, I probably got 8 ounces of water left. And you got to remember, this wasn't even a hot day. So can you imagine what it would be if you had to do this in the late spring, or even in the summer, hell, even in the fall? This would be a killer. This is definitely one of the hardest hikes I've ever done. But I'm not too far from the car now, and I can check this one off my bucket list.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Hiking Journal, my solo adventure up El Cajon Mountain in San Diego County. Just in case you were wondering how I fared when I got home, well, I was a little stiff to say the least, and believe it or not, I really wasn't crippled like I thought I'd be. And I even managed to do a little yard cleanup with the rake after I got home just to keep loose. I think that Perpetuum, the Heed, and all those hammer gels really made a difference. I also swallowed some Recoverite liquid on the way home that's loaded with protein and vitamin C that's supposed to help with the elimination of the post-lactic acid buildup. I don't think that Guinness had anything to do with a speedy recovery, but I'd like to think so. Well, thanks for watching, and be sure and hit that like and subscribe button and tap that notification bell to get the latest updates as I post them. Take care, and I'll see you down the trail. Bye-bye.